All right! Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be studios. With Crystal Durant.
Hi.
With Tommy Bonvoy.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to be discussing our favorite albums
Oh, yeah.
of 2008. Ain't that great?
No.
2008. Yeah. I get the last
2008.
word.
It's a year that Tommy does hate.
Should we just start with the hate?
Can there be anything
Well,
else?
I'll tell you what.
Oh.
I start this one.
Yeah, you do.
And I have a full list. A full list.
Yeah, but you don't have any runners-up, do you?
I got the last
I do.
What?
You've got honorable mentions?
I have...
Wow.
Let me see. 1, 2... I have 4 honorable mentions.
4.
And a mention.
And a mention.
Yes. My mention is Alice Cooper, Along Came a Spider.
Oh.
Yeah, see, he did those couple albums that I really liked, Eyes of Alice Cooper in 2003 and Dirty Diamonds in 2005. This was the follow-up, and I was really excited about this because he was on a little run there that I was into. And I bought this. It's like a concept album about a serial killer named Spider. Along Came a Spider.
Right.
And I thought, oh man, like he's making good records now, and now he has like a really cool concept. So excited about the record. The opening track kicks ass. Fucking great. And then the album just goes from there. For me, I mean, he didn't, again, he's still not doing new metal or anything, it's pretty straight ahead rock and roll, but I just wasn't really that into the record. But the opening track, I Know Where You Live, really fucking great. Like, it's really good.
Who helped write the stuff? Do you know?
The people he had in his band with him, Ryan Roxy and all those guys, I think. But anyway, my actual honorable mentions list, I have The Submarines with Honeysuckle Weeks. I don't know much about it. I listened to it doing this list and thought, oh, that's pretty good.
All right.
Paul Heaton, The Cross-Eyed Rambler. Paul Heaton was the front man for the House Martins and the Beautiful South.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
And
remember
that record's pretty good. Supergrass, merely making the honorable mentions. Merely making the honorable mentions list this time with their final album, or up to date, their last album, Diamond Hoo-Ha. Diamond Hoo-Ha.
Diamond Hoo-Ha.
Diamond Hoo-Ha.
That's dirty.
Yeah. And
Hoo-Ha is.
Neil Diamond with Home Before Dark. All right, so now on to my actual 10 album list.
Wow.
Coming at number 10 is an artist I would never in a million years think would be on one of these lists. I wouldn't think in a million years that there would be an album by this artist to consider, especially at this late date, to put on my list.
Uh-oh. Who that is?
The Pete Best Band.
What?
With Heyman's Green.
Stop.
Best.
The
He's still
Pete
alive?
Yeah, he's still alive today.
This exists? This is a thing?
Yes. I saw that he had a record that he put out this year. I'm like, the Pete Best Band, 2008. I thought, well, I'm going to have to listen to this. And I put it on. It's pretty fucking good.
Really?
It's him on drums, and his brother Rogue is in the band, and they have a couple of other guys.
Rogue?
And they're not the writers. Like, the other guys are writing and singing, but they wrote, like, it's just a Beatle-esque album. Like, it's like kind of good Beatle-ish kind of tracks. It's not bad.
I'm so glad.
I
I'm
mean,
not
Pete Best is just playing
I know.
drums. He's not singing, he's not writing. So it's, in a way, it's not really a Pete Best album. It's just these other guys who have the ability to make this music.
Right, and he's the name.
And he's the name.
But it's not bad, huh?
It's not bad. It's not at all bad.
Huh.
It's
I
it's
never
a better
would have
approximation
thought.
of the Beatles than Oasis ever could be. Let me put
I
that.
mean, oh.
Well, okay, you guys saw the cover of the anthology, how it had it was the painting of all the posters, that had been
Right.
wheat pasted up, and they
Yeah.
kind of started tearing them away. And there's a picture on the volume 1 that has a picture of them, or there's an image on it from when they had Pete in the band, and Pete's face is torn away, and underneath, like you see Ringo's face in his place. Well, the cover of this album is that bit of the poster of just Pete's face in exactly the shape of what was torn off. That's the front cover of the fucking album.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, serving it hot, Pete.
Yeah,
Best.
yeah. So
Oh,
they're not
no.
fucking around.
Wow.
Now, I understand that he did finally start making some a little bit of
He did
Beatles
because they
royalties
put some
because of
tracks
the
that he was
anthology.
on
Yeah.
this, and that was because of Neil Aspinall. Neil Aspinall and Mal Evans were like the two right-hand guys that were
Right.
there since they were doing clubs.
Right.
And Neil Aspinall is the guy who knew where all the bodies were buried. Like, if that guy had written the book, he could have written the fucking book. But he was fiercely loyal. He worked for Apple up until right before he died. And he never would have written the book, but he could have written the book that would have just turned the world upside down had he chosen to.
Wow.
But
Man.
but the reason why he knew all those things is because they trusted him, and they were proven right because he never did. He never
Say
did
a word.
Yeah, he took it to the grave, all of it.
That is loyalty, people.
But all of that, the point being that when they were still a club band, Neil Aspinall fucked Pete Best's mom, got her pregnant.
What?
Rogue Best, who's in the band, is their son.
Oh.
And so even though he continued with the Beatles, he still had a very strong personal bond with Pete. So he was the one who really made sure that Pete got a piece of the anthology.
Okay, do me a favor. When I'm like this, I need you to put a little graphic of like science formulas over my head because I can't wrap my brain around this.
Yes.
Did not know this.
Neil Aspinall fucked Mona Best, Pete Best's mom, and they had a child. And that is Rogue Best, who is his brother in this
Well,
band.
no wonder his name is Rogue. Good Lord.
See, there you go.
okay.
See, there's so much crazy shit we don't know about the Beatles.
This is some Jerry Springer shit.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Well, this explains then why he made sure Pete was taken.
He would,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
like I said, like, Pete Best is family to him, like literally,
Wow. Wow, that is some tea that was spilled. Woo.
all over the table.
Hot tea. Hot tea.
All right, so number 11 or number 9, number 11. What am I talking about? Number 9. The Fratellis with "Here We Stand."
Ah, I forgot about them.
So you
Fratellis.
remember them? Did you listen to them?
I remember that band.
Yeah, I feel like I might have enjoyed them a little bit.
They're pretty good, melodic, like 60s influenced, guitar rock.
They're from
Yeah.
England, right? Fratellis?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We don't want to be taken to task by the
Oh, yeah.
comment gallery there.
If you know, put it in the
Peanuts,
comments.
the peanuts in the
Fratellis.
comments there.
Wow. Fratellis. I remember that.
Yeah, you know where the
Number
name is
8.
from?
Fratellis?
Fratellis.
I don't remember.
It's from the Goonies.
Really?
That's the bad guys from the Goonies.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The bad guys from the Goonies.
It's Fratellis.
Fratellis.
Oh, that's what that is.
The
Oh, okay, I
brothers.
didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
Okay.
know what the reference was.
Yes.
Thank
but-
you, Tommy.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's one of those bands that I remember being around. I remember the name. I remember seeing the album cover, but I didn't listen until this week. I liked it. It's good. Number 8. AC/DC with Black Ice.
Yeah.
Tommy loves that album. AC/DC fell off so fucking hard.
That this was produced.
I'm sorry, man. Everything after.
Flip the switch.
After Razor's Edge. I'll give them up to Razor's Edge in 1990.
Okay.
After that, everything they have done has sounded like a parody of themselves. It sounded forced.
That's kinda true.
And contrived.
But I remember when this album came out, I felt like it sounded a little better to me than the last couple had. It does still sound like a parody, but I don't know. It's 2008, and there's a fucking AC/DC album, and so it's like, well,
Fuck it.
yeah, what am I gonna do? Put Diamond Hoo Ha above it?
Aye! Spicy.
So number 7. Here's an artist I haven't mentioned before.
Who that is?
Alice Russell with Pot of Gold. Does
Alice-
anybody know about Alice Russell?
I got nothing.
Alice Russell, she's British, vaguely Bette Midler-ish white woman belting out retro daptone style soul. It's really fucking good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really some good stuff. She has a few albums, and I think you would like it.
More homework. Okay.
Yeah. Number 6, speaking of British, Tom Jones
Yeah.
with 24 Hours. Yeah, Tom Jones. Now, I love Tom Jones, but I don't really. He's not one of those artists that I always buy. I don't really go into his new albums. I really kind of never have. They'll come out and I'll poke through them, and that's kind of it.
Did you get The Lead and How to Swing It?
I listened to a little of it, and it was okay. You know, I just never bought it though.
Okay.
And but this is easily his strongest later period album as far as I'm concerned. And I talked about it in Singles of the Year. One of the tracks, I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
I have that information right here. If He Should Ever Leave You. Total 60s Tom Jones. In fact, it actually quite literally samples a horn line from one of his 60s tracks.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, the only late period Tom Jones album that I really love. So number 5, I've talked about him before. Bart Davenport. Bart Davenport with his album Palaces. Bart Davenport is a guy I used to be in a band with. He was the bass player of Seven Bees, the original one.
Yeah.
And he has a whole series of solo albums that are really good. You know, he's singer-songwriter vibes, a lot of 60s and 70s, very soulful, excellent voice. He has a really nice, smooth, kind of pitch-perfect, soulful voice. Like, really, great songs, great lyrics. Yeah, I really recommend Bart Davenport. Do listen to him. Because, he is friend rock on one hand, but he's better than that. Like, he's actually good. It isn't just because I know him, like, I would like this album if I didn't know him.
Okay. Friend rock. That's a new term.
Number 4, R.E.M. with Accelerate.
What?
Their penultimate album.
What?
Yeah, the album prior to this was something Around the Sun. That album was so terrible I didn't even buy it. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to hear it before it came out, and I didn't even bother with it. And that was like their low point. And then after they did that, they kind of regrouped and they went to Ireland and did some residency. I don't remember, it was Olympia Theatre or something like that. They did a theater residency over there where they were just playing live for like days and weeks on end for random audiences.
Really?
And not only playing classic stuff, but playing new stuff and kind of trying to get their bearings back just like as a band. Because they weren't a band on the previous album. They were just like these 3 guys going, oh shit, we gotta do this again. Let's try to cut and paste this together. And they just went out and just like started...
Now, did they add other members, or was just...
Well, live they usually have the band sort of
people.
augmented. Because, there's like... I forget the name of the guy right now because he's not important.
Sorry, dude.
But, yeah, so basically they did this residency and they worked up all these new songs and then they went in the studio and recorded them, and like it has a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, and like they sound kind of like they're more into it again. And it's just a better album.
Interesting.
Okay, so number 3, my first mention of Brent Cash.
Crickets.
This is an album called How Will I Know If I'm Awake? Now, this guy, it's like full 60s sunshine pop, orchestral pop, excellent songs, excellent arrangements, and I forget where he lives. He lives somewhere in Middle America, and he's obscure as hell, but he puts out these really, really great, basically 60s albums.
How did you find out about him?
I don't remember how. This is his first album, and I learned about this somehow. I don't remember how, but Mary knows him.
Of course, Mary would know him.
Mary, our friend Mary Edwards, she knows him. And, yeah, I friended him on Facebook, and he sends me a happy birthday every year. Thank you, Brent.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, this is if you guys are into like artists who do 60s retro music, especially people who kind of do like the more late 60s kind of vibes, and you don't know this stuff, definitely check it out because this guy does it really well. Like, he has the chops, he can really write songs, and he does, his arrangements are excellent, his musicianship is top notch.
All right,
so number 2, The Fireman with Electric Arguments.
Nothing. I got nothing. Fireman?
The Fireman is Paul McCartney in disguise.
Oh.
Well, Paul McCartney started this project with this guy called Youth. who I don't know if he was like a hip hop guy or I think he was an electronic guy, and they were making electronic albums. Like they weren't McCartney albums. They were just like making these instrumental electronic albums. And when they came to make this album, they decided, I think it was Youth who kind of like talked McCartney into it. What they were doing, instead of making this album that sounds like the stuff they'd already done, he had McCartney come in every day to the studio. Maybe one time a month, they'd be like, okay, we're going to do this on March 23rd. He shows up that day with no song. He just sits down, plugs in instruments, they get the tape running, and he just makes shit up as he goes along until at the end of the day he has a track. And he did that at every session until they had an album. And it's fucking great. It's really great. It's like McCartney on every instrument, just making up songs as they go along, and they're really good. And I think this album is absolutely incredible, especially considering how it was made. And, there's the McCartney series, McCartney 2, McCartney 3. I've always considered this to be McCartney 3. Now there's actually officially a McCartney 3, but this is so much better than that. It's not even funny. But yeah, The Fireman, Electric Arguments.
Wow. Okay.
But my number one. Joe Jackson with Rain.
He's back.
He is back.
And
Yeah, Joe Jackson, now by far, by 1,000 miles, the best late period Joe Jackson album. This album is so good. This is better than some of his 80s albums.
Wow.
This is probably a top 5 Joe Jackson album for me.
Freak out, man.
Yeah, this is a really, really great album. Yeah, if you really like Joe Jackson, but you kind of stopped listening to the later stuff and you haven't checked this out, do check this out. I was talking, I forget what episode it was, 2000, I think it was 2003, where the original band got back together and they did like a reunion album with the original 4. Well, after they toured that, the guitar player, I don't know if he bowed out or whatever happened. All I know is that Joe continued playing with the drummer and the bassist, and this is them as a trio. Basically, so it's the same band minus the guitar player, and the songs are super strong. Great album.
So he's on piano?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's Joe at the piano.
Drum,
it's like
bass.
like Ben Folds 5 style,
okay.
piano, bass, and drums.
Yeah. All right.
So there you go.
Very nice.
Alrighty there. So that is my 2008. All right, here we go.
Every sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. A chance to meet Jeff Gordon.
You okay, Justin?
Millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
All right, we're back.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. All right, Tommy, you have your work cut out for you.
Ooh, I feel like I'm in the hot seat now.
Well, you better deliver.
Yeah. Well, I only have a top 4 for 2008.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what you had last time, right?
That is what I had last
So
time.
things are not getting
Do what
worse.
you gotta
I
do.
am consistent, if nothing else. But no, they haven't gotten worse. But as in last week's episode, I have had to kind of loosen my standards a little bit, put stuff in here that might have more filler on the album that I would normally be accepting of.
Yeah.
A few surprises here. So my number 4, this one, oh boy, this one really came out of left field. VYP, Voice of the Young People by Lil Mama.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I am not.
What?
The reason why is because it reminds me of mid-'80s era hip-hop. This sounds to me like a UTFO record.
I'll give you that.
Yes.
I don't think it's
Okay.
good, but I'll give you that.
But,
Wow.
yes.
Lil Mama.
Yes.
Are
Lil
you-
Mama.
You see this?
Yes.
Damn, son.
I know you weren't expecting that shit, were you?
Hell no, I was not
No,
expecting
no,
that.
you weren't. It's not a perfect album. It's far from a perfect album.
Yeah.
There's some stuff on there that's just straight crap, but there's some stuff on there that is a shitload of fun.
Yeah.
And
Well, now the question I've asked before, is this something you were aware of then, or did you just get into it?
I was recently made hip to this, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not trying to call you out.
No,
or anything.
no. My number 3, Foxy Shazam with Introducing Foxy Shazam.
Okay, now this is interesting. Now, I can't stand Foxy Shazam. Take 2. I can't stand Foxy Shazam, but I think Tommy would be into these guys.
Well, okay, so I am a little bit into this album.
Okay.
2 weeks, well, several episodes from now, when we do 2010, their third album, woo!
Oh, that's when it gets hot.
And then 2 years after that, 2012, their fourth album, woo!
Spoiler alert.
And then 2 episodes after that, their fifth album,
Toilet. What are
Okay.
they called? Foxy what?
Foxy Shazam.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
This album is more mayhem than anything else.
Yeah.
It's really chaotic and insane. But they really start to get their shit together in time for their third album, which is really focused and really catchy.
But what?
Which
what
I have
genre
not
is
heard.
it?
I haven't heard that later stuff. I've only heard this.
Check out the self-titled and check out the Church of Rock and Roll. That's the
Okay.
third and the fourth albums. Those
So they
are
do
the
rock and
ones.
roll.
They're a rock and roll band, but they're
They're kind of a bunch of hipsters, like being kind of snarky. It's like hipster snark rock with mustaches.
but when it works though, it really
works.
really works.
Okay, the reason why I even know about them is because I saw them open for the New York Dolls. I had never, and it was on this album, and that's why I only know this period, because I gave it a listen. But yeah, they were really obnoxious. I couldn't stand them. But I haven't listened to those other albums.
You should
so.
check out the third and the fourth album. I think you'd understand why I'm paying any attention to them at all.
Well, no. I mean, I totally, without you even, before you even mentioned them, and I saw that, I was like, I wonder if Tom's going to have this.
Yeah. Now they have an album before this, which is just insane. It's like the chaos and the mayhem of this album is times 10 for the first one. I'm just like, I'm not there for that. It's just too much nonsense.
Yeah.
So this one is half nonsense, half songs, and then for the third and fourth album, it's mostly songs.
Half nonsense and half songs.
Yeah. My,
That is funny.
yeah. It is.
And half nonsense songs.
Yeah.
My number 2 for 2008, Dragon Force is back again with Ultra Beatdown.
Dragon Force.
Power metal.
I did listen to a couple of songs off of their.
Dragon Force.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It's really kooky.
It's just insane.
You know, maybe dragons and witches could come together and form a
Dragon
force
Witch
together.
Force.
I think if Witch Force should open for Dragon Force. And just
Oh,
put that out
snap.
to the universe.
You
That
know?
would be a crazy doubleheader.
So maybe we can get our interns on it. Okay.
Get
Why not?
all.
And my number 1, much like last week, I was super excited about my number 1. This year, 2008, I am super stoked about my number 1, and that is The Fame by Lady Gaga. Yes.
Okay.
He's yes.
Okay.
I saw your face twist into some pain and contortions, and look, dude,
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a great goddamn album. And then the next year, obviously, she reissued it as The Fame Monster, which included basically just double the length of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why she did that, because basically she could have just put out this new half of the album as just its own album.
Yes.
Which is also amazing.
Yes.
But yeah, The Fame, 2008, Lady Gaga. Love it.
All right.
All right. Well, there you go.
Hi, LL Cool J.
That was me, LL Cool J, before I started using Swagger from Old Spice. Now look at me. Nice.
Oh my gosh, Mom, that game last night was amazing. I mean, the place was packed and everyone was there. I even saw Taylor Swift.
Oh, come on. Taylor Swift at a Predators game? You're crazy.
No, Mom, She was there.
Whatever.
Would you please tell her you were there?
I was there. Rare.
Save money off the individual game rates with the new Pick 10 Flex plan starting at $200.
All right, we're back. It's 2008.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah, 2000. Little Ace Frehley reference for you there. So, Crystal. Yeah,
I hope somebody else gets that. I haven't heard that in so long. Yeah, 2000.
Yeah,
you know
2000.
this, right?
What's it from?
At the end of 2000 Man on Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Yeah, 2000. Down. I'm
Fucking
okay.
Ace Frehley.
Okay. All right, so Crystal, it's time for your list.
All right, that's 2008. I have no runners up, no honorable mentions, no honorable mentions.
Wow.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I only have one song on my list. One album. One album on my list.
You have a one album list?
That's it.
Wait, you're shitting me.
I'm not kidding you. I have one album. That is it.
See, this makes me feel so much better for only being able to come up with 4.
No. Yeah. I
Well, I hope you have a lot to say about this album.
But to pat it out a little bit, here are my 2008 fun facts.
Oh, okay.
All right, Justin Bieber was signed to Def Jam. He was discovered by Usher, and then he was signed on Def Jam. Def Jam. Number 2, Tina Turner left semi-retirement to do her 50th anniversary tour, which made $130 million.
God damn.
And it was a fucking great show. I saw it here in New York. I saw it in Philly. I saw it in New Jersey. Couldn't get enough of it. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just, oh, man.
That's the last time she toured, right?
That was her last tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Jermaine Dupri and Tag Body Spray started a hip-hop label. Do you remember Tag Body Spray?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jermaine Dupri. He got Janet Jackson in bed. How did he wind up fucking her doing this shit? I don't know. And the last fun fact is that 50 Cent sued Taco Bell for using his name without permission. Because they had like a 50 cent taco or something. And
Oh,
like,
what?
Yeah, and they're
Wait,
like, yeah.
seriously?
Yeah, dead ass, as the kids say. Dead ass.
But they weren't actually trying to reference him, though.
Yeah,
The taco was just 50 cents.
No. They were like, they played an interpolated version of his music.
Oh, it actually was a reference.
So
Yeah,
that's
it referenced
actually,
him,
that's
yeah.
not okay.
They didn't use his face. They didn't use his likeness or anything. But in the background of the commercial, oh yeah, we got the chalupas, blah blah blah, for 50 cents. And you hear dun 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 dun. You know, in the club, interpolated in a weird way in the background.
Like, just change 1 or 2 notes.
So
or some
I
shit.
find it really funny when hip hop artists get all up in arms about somebody taking their shit.
Irony.
Isn't that what their entire fucking thing is built on? Is taking other people's shit?
It's called irony, my friend. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, let's just. Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, I got one song on my list, or one album on my list. And it is Lady Gaga.
Ah! See?
That's it.
Fame.
Yeah, what he said earlier. That's it.
Oh wow! So not only do you have only one album, but it's an album that's already been discussed.
Already been discussed.
All right, so we have a 15-minute episode for you people.
Sorry, but and again, like I said earlier, thinking about what music was I listening to during this time period, I honestly, off the top of my head, could not remember what I was listening to. I was drawing a blank, but I said this right before we started taping. I was DJing full time, and I was playing a lot of old music, a lot of disco. I was DJing a lot of gay bars. That's what they wanted to hear. Cher's Dark Lady to like ELO. That's what I was... And I was just listening to old music to come up with my sets for my gigs. I wasn't listening to any really new music until Lady Gaga was like, wow, and all the gay guys loved it. So I wound up playing that all the fucking time. But I wasn't mad at it because I love the songs.
I think it's a great album.
Stephanie Germanata.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
All right. Well,
that's it. I got one album. Did I win? What do I win?
You win a prize.
I win a prize.
You win this commercial break.
All right.
This is the time. This is the vibe.
Don't you wanna get onto the ride?
'Cause there is a love
that won't let you down.
It is time for a love revolution. It is time for a new constitution.
I'd have got coffee, please.
Excuse me?
Can I get a black coffee?
Black coffee.
Thank you.
Ready to go.
51 legs, please.
What?
I got a 51 legs, please.
English. Got it.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, this is bollocks.
What?
That's disturbing, Ozzy.
Make yourself heard with the full QWERTY keyboard Samsung Propel.
Don't give anything away.
Oh, we're going.
Don't be so informative.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
So there's been very little love going around on this episode. Maybe there's a bit of hate.
Oh yeah, there's hate.
There's some hate.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well,
you start.
I start. Yeah, and I can confirm there's some hate because I have
hated it.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums on my worst of list.
Wow.
All right, and to start with, Guns N' Roses with Chinese Democracy. Oh, fuck, people.
Surprise!
Come on. Come the fuck on. Really?
What?
I mean, you know, just the years and the years and the years that you wait for them to fucking just get off their asses and finish this shit and put it out. And then so many years have passed that half of the album is dated.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I came out and I listened to it and I'm like, what's this 1998 shit? You know?
Bad 1998
Bad 1998
Flirtations
shit.
with fucking industrial. And
Yeah.
it's just...
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Terrible.
Up next we have Judas Priest with Nostradamus. Oh.
Is this with Ripper or?
No. This is their
Halford's
second
back.
album with Rob Halford
Halford's
back.
back?
Yeah.
See, they did Angel of Retribution, which I like. Tommy doesn't like that album. I really like that album. So when this was coming, like they had a new album coming out, I was like, oh yeah, new Judas Priest album. I was really excited. And then I start reading about it, and it's like this double disc concept album about Nostradamus, and I'm like, oh.
That's odd.
Okay. And then it came out and I listened to it and it was like, oh man. Talk about a misfire. Talk about a misfire. And like this is like right after Rob comes back.
Yeah.
Their second album with him, they're going into this shit. What
That's
the fuck are they
sad.
thinking?
That's a shame.
Anyway, terrible. Barry Manilow with the greatest songs of the 80s.
Yeah, I know.
Because I talked already about how he did one in the 50s, he did one for the 60s, he did the 70s, of course, now he has done the 80s.
Yeah.
And well, evidently Barry had a look at my 80s worst of list from the singles of the year and decided to make an album out of it. The track list goes as follows.
Yeah, I was about to look up the track list.
Oh, no, I have it
no.
handy. I have it handy.
Yeah.
Islands in the Stream. No Thank You. Love the Bee Gees. Love Dolly. I never liked that song. Open Arms. Love Journey. Fucking Barry Manilow doing Open Arms. Come on, people. Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh.
I love that
Have
song.
I told you lately that I love you?
You. Oh.
I just called to say I love you.
Wow.
Against All Odds. Careless Whisper. Some of these songs, I like Careless Whisper, you know, whatever.
I love that song.
Right Here Waiting by Richard Marx. Yes, as karaoke'd by Barry Manilow. Arthur's Theme. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. Yeah.
I have a comment. Keep going.
Well, you're going to have one after this, too. Hard to say I'm sorry. And you're definitely going to have a comment after this one. Time after time.
Fuck you.
Yes. And to end it all off, the ultimate, I've had the time of my life.
You've got to be.
I am not fucking kidding you.
All right. I'm cutting in on
Feel
this.
free.
Okay, all
Good.
right.
Please.
I like almost every one of those songs.
I know you do.
Barry Manilow, in his prime, did not necessarily have the right vocal range to handle a lot of that material.
Right.
Barry Manilow in 2008 definitely would not have the range to handle that material.
He couldn't even smile in 2008 because his face was made of plastic. Trying singing these songs.
Yeah, forget it.
God, that must be horrible. That's got to be like work getting through that album.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There's no way I'd be able to listen. I would not be able to stomach him ruining all those songs for 45 minutes. I couldn't deal with that.
And I don't dislike all these songs. I mean, Time After Time is a good song. I like the Christopher Cross song. Careless Whisper is good. But by and large, yeah, this is like, whew. Oh, man.
No.
I mean, the originals. I don't like the Barry versions. Let's make that clear.
Yeah.
And I'm a Barry Manilow fan, but, 70s Barry Manilow. After that, things get dire.
Yeah.
Things get bad.
Damn.
His Broadway show just closed, too.
Yeah.
Harmony.
Well.
Come on, Tommy.
No. I have more. I have many more to go here.
I'm
sorry.
done.
I have like 9.
I shut the door. Oh.
Nope.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Slipknot with All Hope Is Gone. It's been a while since we mentioned them, so it's a little reminder.
Anything.
7 Mary 3 with Day and Night Driving. Now, this is their 7th and final album.
7 albums?
This is their final album. I have probably already said anything, but I decided to give them one last shout out on the way out the door. And you know what? I hope the fucking door did hit you on your way out.
Who fucking paid for those guys to go into a recording studio 7 times?
Somebody did. What label were they signed to? I'm sending hate mail.
Although it is apropos, I guess, that 7 Mary 3 quit after their 7th album. Get it? Ooh.
Yeah.
Could have quit after 3.
All right. Next up, Fall Out Boy with Folie à Deux. Now, this is their 4th album, so we're overdue for a good and proper.
Nothing but
Fall Out Boy. Jimmy's Chicken Shack with Fail on Cue.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I remember that
Oh,
name.
man. Okay.
Womp womp.
So, my top 2. Now, my last runner-up before my worst of the year actually was my worst of the year. And then I discovered something that just unseated it. So I have some extensive notes on this one that I'm going to read anyway, even though it's not the worst. This is Pure Energy. Pure NRG. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
With
second.
an album called Here We Go Again.
This is like some kind of Christian music thing.
Yes. A Christian pop group made of 3 blonde white kids, of course.
Of course.
Surprise!
Yes.
The music basically sounds like a 2000s TV commercial. It sounds like the cover, which I'll show you right here. That's what this fucking album sounds like. And speaking of covers, they do a version of That's What Friends Are For. But, so, a little blurb here from Wikipedia. The band decided to disband sometime in late 2010. According to an interview with TV One Life, which I'm sure is some Christian
bullshit
organization, reasons included wanting to be kids again and to get back into school and education. Also, according to the same interview, Caroline went into the 9th grade, Carolyn went into the 10th grade, and Jordan was in the 12th grade in the fall of 2010. Their mission was to, quote, entertain, educate, and promote Christian values to young people, using wholesome and uplifting lyrics in our music with music and dance in order to provide positive role models, and we just really hope that we can showcase that being a child of God is just really so awesome, and nobody can ever take that away from you, and no matter what happens, and that, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And we hope we get this across in our music.
Wow.
Yes, this is what we're dealing with. So they went on a farewell tour in the fall of 2010, celebrating the 4 years that they had spent as a band. All of the members said that they were very sad to be disbanding, but they felt that God was calling them out. And their last performance was at Fellowship Bible Church in Brentwood, Tennessee.
All right.
So there you go. So that's more than you ever wanted to know about Pure Energy.
My stomach is fucking turning right now.
I was reading Wikipedia on them and I was just cringing. I had to cut and paste all that. I have considerably less material on my worst stuff, but it's arguably worse.
Worse than fucking Christian nationalism propaganda?
Maybe not. Let's just say it bugged me more. This is a band called Ponytail, with an album called Ice Cream Spiritual. Ponytail. I don't have a lot to say about this. It was fucking awful. It's basically a freeform noise band.
Oh, no.
Made up of teenagers.
I'm out.
Yeah. It's a freeform noise band. It's the teenagers hopped up on caffeine and sugar version of Trout Mask Replica.
No!
Yes.
No!
So,
I have to
you know
listen
how
to this.
annoying Trout Mask Replica is.
Wow.
Well, now imagine a bunch of 15-year-olds having had too much sugar doing that.
All right, now it's my turn. No, no, I don't want it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
like the singer, the vocalist, the singer, if you want to call him that. Don't actually sing lyrics. It's just grunts and noises and just over random noise.
Wow. That's pretty adventurous for young kids to do in 2008.
Admittedly, yes. But it's.
But there's shitloads of kids doing that at that age. They're just not getting record deals.
That's what
You just put a bunch of kids into a garage with some instruments. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get that album.
Who is the record label who signed that?
That information I do not have here.
Tell me they have industry connections without telling me they have industry connections.
Yes, probably, because because it is bad. But all right.
Well, I thought I was going to shut this whole shit down, so I only have one.
Okay.
I only have one. And
all right,
the foolishness, the naivete of me to think that somebody wouldn't mention this if they went before me. And it's the first goddamn one you mentioned. Of course it's Chinese Democracy is my worst of.
Come on.
We waited 13 years for that?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a we. It was only Crystal. Only Crystal was waiting for it.
What do you mean we, white man?
Ooh.
Not a GNR fan, I take it.
I didn't say that.
Well, liking that album does not make one a GNR
fan. Yeah.
And disliking this album does not make you not a GNR fan.
Not a GNR fan. Yeah,
Right.
there you go. That's a much better way of putting it.
It's a meandering fucking shambolic train wreck that was just it's an Axl Rose. I hesitate to even call it an Axl Rose solo project. It's an Axl Rose
folly.
It's Axl's folly.
Axl's folly, and it shows that he was profoundly out of touch.
Oh,
to say the least,
deeply out of touch. Because I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, there's things that seem completely out of place at that point in time. Because what you have at that point now is you've got a decade or more of him writing songs and going to the studio with a constantly rotating cast of characters with him, trying to chase what was becoming popular
at that moment.
Whereas when GNR first dropped, everyone's shit themselves. It's like, this is the hot thing.
Yeah.
At that point, they were the trendsetters.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Axl is now chasing trends, and you have Chinese Democracy, which reflects more than a decade of him chasing trends and being surrounded by sycophants and having more money than anyone should have to spend on an album project. And you get something that sounds... I mean, I guess you could say it sounds sterilized, it sounds safe, it sounds forced, it sounds laborious.
Yeah.
It
All
sounds,
that.
there's nothing least bit fresh about it.
It is all of these things and more.
It truly is. It's just
so
it's
bad.
just garbage. It's like you get you I mean, I only listened to the whole thing once. And I didn't ever need to listen to it again. I didn't need to revisit it, but I did listen to the entirety of Chinese Democracy. And you get to the end and you're like, God, how did... There was nobody in his life told him, no, dude, this is just not good?
No.
Apparently not.
The minute you have money, nobody tells you no for shit.
Shit, yeah.
And when you have enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just. I felt like nothing could come close to how bad that was, so that was the only thing I had for this year.
I get it. All right, here is my worst of 2008. Vampire Weekend? Why are they still making records? Blind Melon?
Oh, wait, they
How
had
are they
an
still
album that
making
year?
records?
They had an album that year. Blind Melon? Question mark,
Wasn't
question mark,
Shannon
question
Hoon
mark.
dead at that point?
Long since. He died in the 90s.
Yeah, but
so they
put
got some
something
other
out.
rando in there, huh? Made an
Yeah.
album? Okay.
Def Leppard?
Oh, what was their album that year?
I don't even know. It's such a mishmash at that point in time. They kept putting stuff out, but I just couldn't care less.
Here's another shitty band name. Foxborough Hot Tubs.
Oh,
yeah.
shit, I never heard of that.
Foxborough
I
Hot
ain't
Tubs.
never heard of that.
But the worst is obviously Chinese Democracy.
God.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
And I was not a GNR fan by any stretch of the imagination. I liked the hit songs just fine. First record, I liked it. You know, it was a big thing. Everybody liked it. It was fine. And as I may have said before, I have a little bit of history with those guys because I worked at Tower when Slash was there, when Axl. So anyway, I was not waiting for a follow-up.
You were not right, you waited.
Yeah, exactly. I was not. I really didn't care. I thought, oh, well, obviously they're going to put out another record because this was a huge monster thing and you couldn't escape them and whatever. So I thought, you know, they're touring. Maybe it'll take 2 years. 3 years tops to put out a follow-up. 13 years later, and... You know, what's his face? The drummer was on that reality show.
With the
Adler,
Yeah.
with the doctor.
Celebrity Rehab.
Celebrity
Dr.
Rehab
Phil.
and all that other shit. So I was like, oh, well, this guy's definitely out because fuck it. Slash was doing whatever the hell he was doing.
Slash's Snake Pit.
And all
Velvet
this,
Revolver.
And Velvet Revolver.
Oh, right.
And I thought, oh, well, maybe they're not going to put anything else out because these guys are doing something else. What was Duff doing?
But didn't he ended up in Velvet Revolver too?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
And he went through his shit and wrote his memoir and whatever. So I just figured, well, forget it. Like after 5 years, I thought it's not going to happen, and they broke up and it's over. But then this pops up from the depths of hell, and everybody's like, "Wow, is that just going to be so great?" And it stunk. And there were hardcore GNR fans who abide by this.
And there are people who like this album.
Yeah, and I say you need to see a shrink.
It's not good. I don't know how you could go from liking Appetite and the better material and Use Your Illusion records to saying, yes, I like anything of Chinese Democracy. It sounds like two totally different fucking worlds.
And I wasn't even a big fan of Use Your Illusion either. I thought that was kind of a hot mess to me.
It is a bit of a hot mess. It should have been a single disc.
Should have been a single record, yeah. Like, what were you? You're greedy now, and you've got sycophants. And the label is like, do whatever. We need to make more money. Fuck it, blah. And Axl running around doing his bullshit and saying horrible things about people.
Right.
So, you know, it was a matter of time, but I didn't think it would take 13 years. So yeah, fuck you, Chinese Democracy. What the fuck, Chinese Democracy? Shut up.
Do you remember when two hilarious things happened with this album? One that was was a Dr. Pepper. They did like a promotion where they said if Axl Rose manages to put out Chinese Democracy before the year's over, we'll give everyone in America a free Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I do remember
some shit. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing was,
I'm still waiting for my Dr. Pepper.
I don't think anyone got them.
Nobody
did. And the other thing was The Offspring had an album coming out at one point. And they were like, we're going to call it Chinese Democracy, you snooze, you lose, Axl. And like, I think Axl's lawyers sent them a cease and desist or some shit.
Can't say that.
Well, they shouldn't have fucking said anything.
They should have just done it. They should have just put that shit out.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah, this is, wow, 2008.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, it's not a good album.
Or a good year.
Or a good year.
Or a good year. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, my whole worst of list, I had that at the bottom of my fucking list. But, I mean, you saw what I had above it on.
Well, yeah.
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 All right.
Terrible.
Well, there you go. Let's take a break. We need after that, we need a break.
Give me a break.
Definitely. We sure deserve it.
You see this chain? I recycled this metal off some old rims I had.
You call that eco?
Yes, I do.
This tattoo right here, made out of soy ink.
That's nothing. You know the hotel we staying at? You remember the hot tub, right?
Oh, yeah.
I filled it up with all women instead of water. Saved 150 gallons.
7 days, no shower. 276 gallons. Blam.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
That's nasty, man. For real.
Introducing Planet Green, the first all-green TV network.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time to get out of here. I'm sure you guys really enjoyed our take on 2008, especially you guys who are fans of the year. I'm sure you guys were just really, really satisfied by our lists, right?
I'm really looking forward to the comments. What is it? Vampire
Weekend.
No. The commenter. Vampire.
Oh,
something?
Naughty Vampire God.
Naughty Vampire God.
Naughty Vampire and Ernest 3.
Ernest 3 and Black Rocker dude.
Oh, well, Damar.
Universal
Well, he's
Black
kind of on our
Black
page.
Rocker.
He always manages to find stuff, but he kind of hates the same
He
news
hates
that
the
we
same
hate.
thing we do.
Yeah.
But I appreciate those three in particular. Not that I don't like everybody else, but they... Especially when they do the album and then their favorite singles from it, which is above and beyond the Call of Duty.
It is shocking how much they're able to come up with
this
each year.
stuff. Yeah. So I'm interested. I can't wait to see this, especially considering I only had one album that I liked.
Watch none of them even bother commenting because this year just sucks so bad.
So bad. Yeah.
Or maybe all three of them are a bunch of Seven Mary Three Swan Song apologists.
Oh,
you never know what's going to happen. Let's see.
But one thing that did not suck this year was
that?
us.
Oh, that's right.
We have
Vintage Photo Time.
All right, so here we have Crystal in 2008 with Questlove. She says, this was right after my set at a Back to Basics party in Philly at the infamous Silk City Lounge on Spring Garden Street. Thanks to King Britt and Dazia Blakey. If you were in Philly back then, you know how lit those parties got. It was July. It was hot as fuck in there. It was jam-packed, a total fire hazard, but we all had a hell of a time. I think it was the year before Amir and the Roots became the house band for Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Extra credit if you know who Cody Mundy is. And here I am in 2008. An empty room and a camera equals photo shoot. This was an attempt at a photo shoot for the back cover of the album I was working on at the time, where the buildings hit the sky. Whenever I see this photo and I see my hair, all I can think of is the lyric from Alice Cooper's Teenage Lament. I looked like a rooster that was drowned and raised again. And here we have Tommy in 2008. He says this was taken at the Jam Room Recording Studio in Columbia, South Carolina. I had a new band called Bad Magistrate, and we went there to track the whole album to 24-track 2-inch tape. Nothing digital of any kind was used in the making of that album. I had to rent that baby grand piano just to track a couple of songs. Well, there you have it. That is Crystal and me and Tommy in 2008. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for trudging through this episode with us, and thank you for subscribing if you have. But if you haven't, maybe you want to consider subscribing, and if you do,
ring the bell,
notifications, like, subscribe, and all that kind of shit. Check out the stuff we have down in the comment, well, not in the description below, because we have all kinds of links for you. Tommy has a channel, Crystal has a podcast, I have another channel. We have all kinds of good stuff down there.
Fun stuff.
Instagram.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
Face page.
Yeah, our OnlyFans, of course. Yeah.
Face place.
Face place.
Face place.
Yeah.
Talk ticks.
Talk ticks.
But
you find
Flip
us on
flops.
You find us on WhatsApp.
Tic Tacs. We have Tic Tacs.
WhatsApp.
But most importantly, come back next week because we're going to be discussing our favorite albums of 2009. Yeah, we're going to be closing out the decade. One of the greatest decades ever in the history of mankind.
Does that leave a dirty, like, nasty taste in your mouth just saying that?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you guys then.
Bye.
Rolling.
We are rolling.
Yeah.
We're rolling. We're rolling. We're bowling. Rolling, bowling, bowling.
Keep the doggies rolling.
Rawhide.
So what year are we doing? Oh, yeah, we're doing 2008.
8.
All right.
That's the right vibe.
Yeah.
You feel the way I feel right now.
Do you feel like I do?
No, that was 1976.
Oh, damn it. I was trying to bring it back, Tommy.
I'm right? 76?
Yeah.
Frampton Comes Alive?
These are desperate
Frampton Comes Alive,
70,
late 76, yeah.
Yeah, 76, okay.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
All right!